Dear students, today we will discuss about welding. Welding is used to make a permanent joint on metal or non-metal. Non-metal like plastic, glass, etc. In our mechanical workshop, we use only welding of metals. There are so many types of welding. Mainly, there is basically two types: pressure type welding and non-pressure type welding. In pressure type welding, one example is forge welding. In forge welding, metal pieces are heated to a high temperature, just below the temperature of melting, and kept together and strike with hammer. Then both will be stuck together. That is one type of pressure type welding. Second one is resistance welding. For example, spot welding. Keep the items one over the another and give electric current. Electric current means heavy current. Then press the electrodes together. Then the item will be melted at that spot and stick together. That is the pressure type welding. Next one is non-pressure type. Example, electric arc welding, then gas welding, TIG welding, etc. will come under non-pressure type of welding. Then other types of welding, that is ultrasonic welding is there, then gas welding, arc welding. So many types of welding are also there. Again, the soldering, you might have seen, soldering and bracing is also comes under welding. In soldering, the base metal will not melt, and a solder is a combination of lead and tin, and the process is done below 427 degrees Celsius. You might have seen the soldering and the electronics items. Another type of joining is called bracing. In bracing, the item is bracing will be done in between 427 degree and 850 degrees Celsius. In this process also the base metal will not melt, but we have to apply a filler metal, it is called filler metal, and it is a combination of copper and zinc. And another type of filler metal is called silver solder. In silver solder, silver and a small amount of copper is also added to make the combination of the silver solder. Now we will study about various types of tools used in a welding shop. The tools for holding the item, you can use C-clamp or tongs, etc. Then for marking, a scriber can be used. And then removing the flux after welding, you can use a chipping hammer. Then you can use a wire brush for removing any rust particles, and also if any painting is there, you have to remove the painting with a knife or something like that, and clean the item. Always clean the surface where we have to weld. With sometimes some grease or something is there, then you have to remove with petrol or kerosene. Then always the place should be clean. After the study of the item, we will go for making a joint. Usually I am giving a lap joint. You can see how to do the lap joint. See, you can see the label of a welding machine. This is a 3-phase welding machine. That is input is for 415 volt 3-phase, and output is usually open circuit voltage will be around 50-52 volts. And whenever you are starting the welding, the voltage will come down to about 20-22 volts. Actually, the 50 volt is kept because if you hold both the terminals with your hand, there should not be any shock. You can go up to around 90 volts without shock. But in rainy season, etc., it may be a little shocking if you are holding both the terminals. But in summer season, no problem at all. 50 volt, almost all person can withstand that voltage. See, in order to adjust the current, we have to rotate this one. The current is adjusted, current adjustment is required, depends upon the diameter of the welding electrode we are using. For smaller welding electrodes, less current is required, and for more diameter electrode, more current is required. You have to look into the chart to see how much ampere is required for a welding electrode. Usually it will be written in the electrode cover itself. So whenever we are rotating in the clockwise direction, the current will be increased. And if you want to reduce the current, you rotate the handle in the anti-clockwise direction. We are here using 3 mm electrode. For 3 mm electrode, the required current is about 90 to 110 ampere. That all again depends upon the base material, thickness of the base material we are using. The input is a 3-phase 3-wire system. You can see this one. And a main switch is provided here to switch on that. After switching on, you can see the wire is going inside the welding set. Here there is another switch for again switching on or off. Here you can see off and here on. This also on. Either rotate in the clockwise direction or anti-clockwise. Now you can see here the light is on. That means the welding set is now ready for welding. Again, it depends upon the diameter of the welding rod we are using. We have to adjust the current. For that, in order to increase the current, you have to rotate this handle. You can see a needle which is moving according to the rotation of this one. You can see here. Now it is 120 in between 125 and 150 ampere, about 130 I think. 130 ampere rating is. In order to use 10 gauge or 3 mm welding rod, we have to reduce the current. Now it is about 125 ampere. Again reduce up to 110 ampere is enough. Output is taken through two terminals. One is for electrode and other is the earth cable. When there is no electric power is available, then we have to use a motor generating set. Here you can see this is a motor generating set. One generator will be coupled to a diesel engine. The diesel engine will be working and that will be coupled to a generator, and the generator current is taken for welding. That is this one. Okay. Similar to this one, the DC welding set is also available. The size will be always very small and the weight is also very small. For portable purpose, usually nowadays the DC welding set is used. Now I will tell various types of accessories used in the welding shop. This is the face shield. Face shield is used to protect your face, skin of the face from the ultraviolet rays emitting from the welding region. Similarly, usually a safety goggles are used. Whenever the flux which has to be removed after welding, usually safety goggles are used along with a chipping hammer. We have to chip the item, the unwanted flux, etc. For that you have to use a chipping hammer. This I will show you in physically here also. And before welding an item, you have to remove the unwanted oxide and other unwanted items like oil, etc. You have to use some cotton waste as well as wire brush to remove the debris. And while in order to protect your hand, you can use hand gloves. This will protect the ultraviolet rays emitting from the welding region, which will be affected our hand. And while welding, it is better to use an apron so that we can protect our working dress. Usually this type is available. Another type is welding dress itself we can purchase. It is made up of special type of cotton impregnated with some chemicals so that it will not get fire immediately. Now I will explain various types of welded joint. This is called butt joint. Before welding the butt joint, usually a V groove is provided. That means sides of the item will be chamfered. Then you will get a V shape. And that V shape is filled with welding metal. And that is called butt joint. V butt joint. Without this V, that is a plain butt joint also can be done. That figure is not here. See something like this one. This is the lap joint. Usually we will be giving training to do this one, lap joint. You can see two pieces are lapped together and welding is done at the ends. This is T joint. It will have one item in vertical direction and one in the horizontal direction. And these corners are welded. This is corner joint. Kept 90 degree and inside as well as outside is welded. See, this is the shielded metal arc welding. Ordinary stick welding, it is also called stick welding. Stick welding means the welding rod is used to weld the item. Flux cord welding rod is used. That I will show you later. See, this is the base metal, and on the base metal we are doing the welding work. Here you can see the welding puddle. It is called welding puddle. It is or crate. The molten metal will be filled here. While melting the welding rod, the outer flux will be melting and becoming in the gaseous form. A portion of the flux will be converted into gaseous form. That gaseous form gas will be protect the welding metal, that is molten metal, from the atmospheric action. See, you know the atmosphere contains oxygen. The oxygen will combine with the molten metal, and iron oxide will be coming. Not to avoid that one, usually the flux will be provided with a particular material that will be becoming gas when the heat is there. You can see the angle of the welding rod fixed. It is in between 70 to 80 degree, not 90 degree. And the welding rod is coming from welding is done from left to right, you can see. Here it is welded portion and it is going in this direction. So this angle is 70 to 80 degree to get best result. See, flux will be converted into slag after welding. The slag is a solid item. This has to be chipped out by using the chipping hammer. You can see this chipping hammer. This is non-metal, but this will be conducting material, so no problem. It will be conducting here and welding will be taken place. See, first I will tell about the safety items to be used in a welding shop. This one is called a face shield. Face shield is provided with a glass which will filter all the ultraviolet rays. If you are not filtering that one, that will affect your retina of the eye from the damage. The next item, you have to use a hand gloves. Hand gloves is provided to protect your hand from heat as well as the ultraviolet rays which may affect your skin. While welding, you have to use a hand gloves. Hand gloves will protect the hand from heat as well as from ultraviolet rays. See, ultraviolet may affect your skin. So, you always use a welding gloves. Usually 2 numbers will be used, one for the left hand as well as one for the right hand. This will also protect the item from spark which may touch on your hands. Now another item, as I told earlier, you have to use an apron. This can be used to protect your dress from getting fire. So if you are using this one, no fire hazard will occur. So it is better to use this one while welding. Okay. One more item I will tell you. This is called a goggle. This goggle is used to protect your eyes while chipping the flux. See, after welding, you have to remove the flux. For removing the flux, I will show you. You have to strike like at an angle. While striking, some pieces will be coming out and it may come to your eyes. In order to protect that one, this type of item is used. The name of the item is goggle. You can use this one and remove the chip. This is only a plain glass, nothing is there. This I already told, this is called a chipping hammer. This is used to remove the flux from the welded part. Next one is tongs. Tongs is used to hold the workpiece together. Suppose you want to weld it here, then you can hold like this one and give the welding here. First, a sporting is done, that is called tacking. First you tack here as well as here. After that you can remove the tongs. Various types of tongs are available according to the type of workpiece. This one is called a fire brush. Fire brush is used to remove the surface, remove the unwanted thing or clean the surface. You have to do like this. Then only you will get a very good welding. That means there should not be any unwanted thing like oil or some other oxide coating, etc. You can remove. For removing oil, etc., you can use a cotton waste or something like that. Next one is called electrode holder. This is used to hold the electrode. Electrode holders are again you can see here B300. 300 indicates the maximum current rating of the electrode holder. Here the 300 means 300 ampere is the capacity of this welding welding rod holder. See, sometimes we may have to use a 600 ampere rating for a 6 mm diameter welding electrode, etc. Up to 6 mm welding electrode is available. Think about a ship building. You cannot use a small electrode like this. You have to use a very thick electrode. See, we will be doing a lap welding. Lapping means keeping the one item over the other, like this one. Now you can weld here as well as here for this much wide item. If the width is say very wider item like this one and having a too much length, you can keep like this and weld here as well as here, so that you will get a lap welded joint. You can see the item we have already done here. This is the lap welded item in the lengthy direction. You can do like this also in the shorter length, so that you can extend the length of the item. I will show you the position of the welding electrode to be kept while welding. See, this is a plain butt welding being done. For that I have fixed the metal. You have to keep the welding electrode at an angle of about 70 to 80 degree here. 70 to 80 degree, not 90 degree. 72. Then start from here. Touch the item here and lift a little. A little means usually the diameter of the welding electrode. Core diameter. Core diameter is this is the core diameter. That much length difference in height is required. That means touch and lift a little, so that about the diameter of core is here, and arc will be usually coming. This is a AC welding. The arc will be going there as well as coming from here to there. 50 times it will be transferred, because we are using a 50 hertz current here. And you have to usually move in the zigzag direction to get better welding. Zigzag means this direction, like this one, in a small size. See, after reaching the final position, again you have to retract a little, then only you will get the best result. Now you can see I am chipping the plastic
Slide.
slab. Now you can see the welded portion. See, you can see the code number of the welding electrode. Here it is written as AWS. AWS means American Welding Standard. After that it is written as E6013.
Okay.
See, Americans are presently using in PSI. PSI means pound per square inch. We are using newtons per meter square, but they are still using the old standard PSI. PSI means pounds per square inch. The first two digits indicate 60. 60 means 60 into 1000. That is 60,000 pounds per square inch. That is the shear capacity of this welding rod. Next one is 1. One indicate position of the welding rod used. One means omni position. In any direction it can be used. Left to right, top to bottom, whatever may be. And three is the coating specification, which will involve inert gas while welding to avoid any atmospheric action.